Mina, konnichiwa, genki desu ka, watashi wa kai. That's good, that's alright. I mean, Mina, konnichiwa, genki desu ka, watashi wa Felix Guardian desu. I'm sorry, I should have started with the basics last time, and that would be how to craft an enchanting table. I'm sorry about that. So, the things you would need are 4 obsidian, 2 diamonds, and 1 book on top. Now, you can find obsidian by pouring water on lava source blocks, or if water touches a lava source block. That should be pretty simple enough, and of course you have to go mining for these. And then for this, you need to have either killed a cow or a horse and gotten leather, and you would have need a sugarcane in order to make paper. You put 3 of them into the enchanting table, the crafting table, like so. When you have sugarcane, and that will give you paper, then you put the paper like this all the way down the side, or if you want to put it like that, right, okay. And then you put the leather right in the middle, or wherever you want to do it. And then that's how you make an enchanting table. Aha, aha. Okay, so you place it down and you're like, okay, I want to enchant something. But then you see the slot here? It means you need to put lapis inside of it. And this, you have to go mining for it as well. Also, a little side note, this is actually a dye and not a mineral. And that actually shocked me when I found out. I was like, why am I mining for a dye? I mean, I don't use dyes. I don't have any use for dyes. But this one is interestingly useful to me, per se. Okay, so then you're probably wondering, well, what sort of things can I enchant in an enchantment table? Well, I've got the long list for you right here, folks. You can enchant books, you can enchant swords, hoes, fishing rods, axes, pickaxes, shovels, bows, and of course armor. Now, you can put enchantments on shears, but you would... Oops. I'm sorry about that. You need an... Okay. I'm sorry about that. You would need an anvil in order to put enchantments on shears, because if it takes... Oops. Nothing. But I'm gonna give myself an anvil real quick. There, much better. Now, as far as I know, only 3 things can go onto shears: efficiency, unbreaking, and silk touch. That's a pretty powerful shears right there. Let's see. Oh my gosh. That's new. Okay, forget what you just saw. Now, you're probably wondering what this is over here. This falls into the category of, it may be shiny, but that doesn't mean it's enchanted. This is a golden apple. This is just representing potions in general. And this is a bottle of enchanting. Now, you may have come to this in the creative menu, and you might be like, well, what is it? You can't use it in brewing or anything. But what this is a bottle of EXP. You throw it on the ground, and it gives you a couple of EXP in return. You can legitimately get these in survival by trading with the villagers. I think it's a librarian. Yeah. Just trade with the villagers in general. It'll do you good. And of course, in creative, there's just an inventory. Although, if you have access to creative mode, you can just do a /exp and just blah 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 blah, blah all over the place. Now, as of per 1.9, there are two new enchantments. There is Frostwalker and Mending, which cannot, and I stress, as of 1.9.2, which is currently the amount of stuff that we have here, you cannot enchant anything, these two new ones, with the enchantment table, no matter what you do. In order to get Frostwalker and Mending, you'll have to either trade with villagers, or you can go out into the world and explore and find them in chests. Ignore that. In fact, I don't even know what that's there for. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Frostwalker, if you've seen my 1.9 survival world to burn Ayu, you come down to a water, and when you're standing next to it like this, the water turns to ice. And depending on if it's night or day, the ice will melt or it won't. Of course, obviously, if ice is has sunlight streaming down on it, it's obviously gonna melt. So the best time to explore with Frostwalker is during the nights. That means that you can always turn around and go back whichever way you came from, because the ice wouldn't have melted. Mending is a very, very useful enchantment in 1.9. Okay, hang on. Okay, if you would look here, these all have mending on it. So I'm gonna just take down some of this tree here, and I'm gonna also use this just to get some durability off. Fail. Come on. Okay, this thing is not wanting to take any damage whatsoever. So, Mending is an enchantment that goes on tools, or anything that can basically be broken. What I have over here is, well, you can probably guess. It spawns in experience orbs, and this is explicitly for my mending tools. Notice the axe. All of a sudden, it's back to its normal state again, as if it was never used in the first place. That's what mending does. Instead of you getting EXP, your tools use the EXP that you gain in order to repair itself. Now, while I was fiddling around with the command for those spawners, I realized that the greater the experience orb gives, is the faster the tools will repair itself. For instance, like, don't ask why I'm invisible, please. I have no idea why either. For instance, a creeper would give, say, this is just for reference, 2 experience orbs worth 1 experience point each. That wouldn't help your tools much if all of your tools had mending on it. Now, I can't get into the technical details about it because I am not a mathematician, but I think it has something to do with which tool is the most damaged versus which tool is in your hand or in your offhand slot, or whatever the case may be. So let's see if I could just use the bullet. I have it on peaceful so I'm not interrupted rudely. And Okay. Uh-huh. And, well, I'll leave it as is. So as you can see, now nearly every one of them is damaged. So, we're gonna head over here and take a look at the bottom. I'm just gonna stand here and wait. Okay, so the bow got fixed first. So I'm gonna hold down my shovel. Oops. Let's see. Well, that only took one experience. That would have only taken one experience point to fix. Well, like I said, I don't know all the technical details about it. It'll fix itself when it's ready. Okay? Alright. Now, as far as I know, mending can be applied to pretty much every tool. But you still can't get it in an enchantment table. You would need to trade with villagers. Of course, I traded with this one. And, I did stuff with it. So what next? Now, I want to point something out that I learned the hard way. Protection cannot be mixed with blast protection, fire protection, projectile protection, and I think that's about it. You can't have protection and, say, blast protection on the same piece of armor. You have to mix them. Like, say for instance, this one has protection, this one has blast protection, this one has blast protection as well, and this one has projectile protection and feather falling. But then again, you can only put feather falling onto boots. There are certain enchantments that can be only given to certain pieces of armor, such as Dap Strider, Feather Falling, and was there another one to it? I don't think so. These two can only be added to boots. Chest plates and leggings don't have a specific quota, but for the helmet, Respiration and Aqua Infinity are the only two ones that can be added to helmets in general. Thorns can be added, of course, added to all of the armor. And what they do is that when you take damage, it'll give back a percentage of the damage you received to the person who hit you. Say, for instance, a skeleton was shooting at you and you had thorns like the way I do on all of your armor. It would give the skeleton damage to the point where you can pretty much just stand and let it kill itself to death. Is it what I do there? Kill itself to death. Ha ha. Funny as I know, of course. Okay. So the next one is just basic protection. That can be applied to all pieces of armor as well. I'm not really technical in terms of knowing which one does what, but I do know that blast protection probably does what it says, as well as projectile protection for things like skeletons, probably shulkers, I guess. They're the new mob in 1.9. Actually, I'm not sure because I never tried it. And Unbreaking can be applied to, of course, all tools, armor, and the shears. They basically make sure that they reduce the durability at a slower rate. so things will not break as quickly. Of course, Unbreaking 3 is the best thing to have. That is the highest enchantment of Unbreaking that you can get in vanilla Minecraft. Also, in 1.9, they removed the 1 from Aqua Infinity and Silk Touch. Where is it? Notice Silk Touch is just plain old Silk Touch, because there is no Silk Touch 2 or Silk Touch 3. There was just that 1. And the same goes for Mending. So that's a small change that they made in 1.9. And I almost forgot to mention something. If you want to repair an enchanted piece of armor or a tool, you do not, I repeat, do not put it into a crafting table with the same type of tool. You'll get it repaired alright, but you will lose every single enchantment that you ever had on those pieces of thing. So it's not what you would call, in other words, basically it's a very noob thing to do. If you actually want to fix it, you put it into an anvil with the respective material you made it with. Say for instance, this is a diamond axe. You would need to put diamonds in this slot in order to fix it. Now in 1.9 that isn't necessary unless you have mending. Sorry, my Skype's going crazy. Goblin Nord Inventor Commander talking to me. Don't want to hear their excuses about why they can't come online. So, yes, that is a way to be able to fix your things. Now, you see, the thing is, the more you repair your enchanted tools with the anvil, is the more EXP you're going to lose each time you repair it. And sooner or later, it's going to say too expensive. Even though you're in creative mode and you have a gajillion amount of EXP, it'll still say too expensive. Now, an item was added to 1.9 that also can be enchanted with Unbreaking, and it's called the Elytra, as pronounced from the wiki. Yes, it's pronounced Elytra. It's a shame. It's worn in your chest plate slot. I'm not too sure if it works in this mode. Okay. You go up, up, up. Whee! Yeah, okay, no. Of course, it wouldn't work in, what it does, it helps you to glide when you're up in the air. And go like this, slowly down, down, and boop. It helps you from taking as much fall damage as you normally would if you are going at full speed while wearing an elytra, gliding through the air, and you smack into a wall enough to take enough damage to die. It'll say that you were killed by kinetic energy or something along the lines of that. The elytra is a very strange thing to be added, because once it reaches 1 durability, its texture changes and it can't lose any more durability, and also you can't use it anymore. It means it can't make you glide. The way to repair the elytra is to put it in an anvil with leather in order to repair it. And of course, that also comes with its limitations as being too expensive as well. So your best bet is probably to not use it at all. I'm sorry. I'm probably downing you, aren't I? The best bet you can get is just to get another Elytra at that point. However, there is something called mending, and I will experiment right now to see whether Elytras can be bestowed. Do I even have yes, of course I do. What is wrong with me? Of course it can. Why am I not surprised? So yeah, the best bet for your Elytra is to get it in the mending, and that is the most currently valuable, non-renewable item in 1.9, I believe. This has nothing to do with anything. When you pause the game, your enchanted items still glow, even though the world is paused. Enchanting in 1.7 was very different from what it is today. In 1.7, it would take as much EXP as it practically could from you. And I don't have anything to demonstrate that. It's fantastic. Okay, that's better. Instead, this is what happens when you don't have the books to around the enchantment table. You can only have up to 2 enchantment levels. This will take 1 enchantment level from you, which means that I will be down to 76 if I did. And this will only take 2, which means I will be down to level 75. I'm sorry, I can't do math. In 1.7, it would say, for instance, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just simulate this a little better. They are. If this was 1.7, it would actually take 6 instead of 1, or 15 levels instead of 2, or your whole 30 levels that you worked so hard to get instead of level 3, which is why 1.8 and 1.9 was so much better than 1.7 in terms of enchanting, of course. Now, when it comes to the enchantments level that you can get from your enchantment table, it is best that you use the bookshelves. You need 30, no, if I'm right, 15 bookshelves to get the maximum amount of enchantments that you can possibly get. But it is better, in my opinion, to make it as high as it can go without looking ridiculous. This is the current amount of bookshelves that you can have that will really level up how much you can get from inside your enchantment table. If you notice these particles that are flowing into the enchantment table, I don't even know why I'm talking like this. I'm sorry. Yes, that means that it's working. The letters are, if I remember correctly, the standard galactic alphabet, and they don't really mean anything. They're randomly generated words, and I think it also has it inside here. They mean different things and have nothing to do with the enchantments that you get from the enchantment table, which doesn't really make any sense. But if I remember anything else, this video is already long enough, and this is really creepy. But I will see y'all in next mini-series video.